Gardening is my favorite skill in The Sims 4. It's got a depth that just isn't present with other skill systems, mainly due to its fertilizer and grafting systems. Today we'll take a close look at fertilizer based on some gameplay testing and research I've done recently. The past couple days I did some digging in game code and updated my site with a new fertilizer page. First, for completion's sake, a very brief introduction for those new to gardening. Fertilizing is an ability that unlocks at level 3 gardening and can only be used once every 3 to 4 days. Because of this very long cooldown, it's often better to skip using a weak fertilizer and wait until you have something better. When you use fertilizer, it provides a bump to the meter that appears when you hover over a plant. When a segment of the meter is full, a little DNA symbol appears and the plant starts sparkling. It stops gaining experience at this point and waits for you to select the plant and click Evolve. No further progress can be made until this is done. When Evolve is pressed, the plant levels up instantly. There are 5 levels: Normal, Nice, Excellent, Magnificent, and Perfect. Plants seem to very slowly evolve on their own, but we can speed this up dramatically by providing them nutrients. There are 2 main classes of fertilizers: plants and fish. Plants, aside from grow fruit, which we'll get to later, when used as fertilizer, fall into one of 2 categories. Herbs and flowers are all extremely low-strength fertilizers. Then there are fruits and vegetables, which are medium strength. If I told you to just imagine how thick a plant is and classify them as low or medium based on whether they are meaty or not, you'd be able to tell me by heart what category almost every plant falls under. It doesn't matter if it's a carrot, a strawberry, or a little elderberry. If it's got more heft and juice and meat to it than a leaf of sage, then it's a medium strength fertilizer. This is the base strength we're talking about here, and it can be boosted rather high with quality. Each quality rank your produce gains makes it a better fertilizer. Remember, even if we're doubling though, you don't want to double a 1 to get 2, you want to double a 5 to get 10. We don't have hard numbers on these. The point is just that a bonus to a low yield is going to be much less than the bonus to a medium yield. Low-grade fertilizer should be avoided entirely, so no sage as a fertilizer. So we want perfect plants to use as fertilizer for our other plants, but we need something to get started. We only have normal plants in a new game. This is where fish come in. Fish make amazing fertilizer, but how strong they are depends on a few factors: the type of fish, the weight of the fish, and the freshness of the fish. Fish all have a base value before you take into account freshness and weight. They are labeled as low, medium, and high strength in the game code. A minnow makes the absolute worst fertilizer, at least as far as fish go. Even if it's fresh, it's never going to weigh very much, and its base setting is low. So a fish might get a freshness boost or dodge a penalty by being excellent freshness, but if the base setting is low and the weight is low, it's got nothing going for it. This is a waste of time for your plants, especially if that fish is also rotten. So which fish are the best fertilizer? Fish that can be both heavy, but also have a base setting of high in the game code. Some guides have suggested to use rare fish, but this seems to be wrong. To be fair to everyone who thought this, it's much easier to see now that fertilizer is applied instantly. Fish with high fertilizer strength and the potential for high weight are the tuna in City Living, salmon from the base game, and sturgeon. Medium strength fish can also be good when they are high weight. The tree fish is one to note, as well as the batfish. Both of these can be enormous. Catfish get an honorable mention because you can catch them using plants as bait from a low level 4 fishing skill. This fishing spot near my Sim's house is a good place to catch salmon and tuna, if you have city living. The waterfall fishing spot in the Sylvan Glade hidden area is good for catching salmon, as well as the 2 heaviest fish, sturgeon and the tree fish. Another destination for catching salmon is located near Oasis Springs Park. Look to the back between the mountains. You'll find a small fishing hole here where you can catch salmon, as well as violins that sell for about 1,000 simoleons apiece. They're actually kind of annoying if you're trying to get fertilizer. For players with city living, you can catch tuna a bit more reliably in the world that came with the expansion, which is almost always the case. Down near the docks are a couple of spots that are good for this purpose. Lastly, let's talk about grow fruit. They're covered last mainly due to the fact that we already know they're a good fertilizer. I was more interested in laying out the mechanics for the things we didn't know for sure, and that low-level Sims have access to. Grow fruit can be acquired at level 10 gardening from rare seed packets. I opened 50 packets and got 9 of them, which came out to about an 18% chance. It's not like you don't get anything else that is useful when you do this, but that was 50,000 simoleons I spent. I'm not actually sure that grow fruit are really better than an extremely high weight, high grade fertilizer fish, but when you get them, they're available in quantity much better than fish are. They won't take up all your time. Another thing to keep in mind, assuming you own the Seasons expansion, is that you can use bee boxes to get an extra fertilizer effect in an area around the central bee box. I have a guide to these in both video and text format. Just browse my website or the channel. They reach 5 whole squares away and impact all nearby plants with a medium grade fertilizer, or at least it appears to be medium. All 4 plants would be inside the area, and anything planted inside this giant diamond would benefit from the bee box. That is not all bees are good for, of course. They also give you honey, which is an amazing cure-all for hot and cold weather that you'll experience with the Seasons expansion pack. I did not cover the fungal infusion from Outdoor Retreat. It's just not good for bulk unless you have a cloning machine from the scientist career, so it takes Get to Work and Outdoor Retreat to be really great. I'm sure some of you had a good idea about what plants and fish work well to fertilize, but hopefully this answers people's questions about how the system works. If you've made it this far, I thank you for watching. If you like my video, subscribe to my channel and toss us a like down below. I really appreciate all the support I've received from the community so far. I'll continue to work on the quality of my content. If you have any feedback for us, leave a comment below.